connection? How do you guys derive opportunities through LinkedIn?
Okay, so two ways. Let me give you the first way, and then I'll give you the magic bullet for us. One is that I go to groups that I know my prospects should be in. Like where would they camp out? Where would they participate in? And that then helps me identify who's there and start to hone down, these are potential people that I should be talking to. I didn't know who they were yesterday, but if they're in that group, for instance, increasing sales managers' productivity, let's assume that's a group. Chances are, as a Sandler trainer, I want to be there, right? I want to see who's in there, what's going on, things of that nature.
Yes.
Here's ours, our bullet. We actually will go into, let's say, our customer base, right? And so, Chris, you're a raving fan of Sandler, and you've been a client of mine under this scenario now for a couple of years. And I've asked you for maybe 2 years, Chris, anyone else you know that could use Sandler Training? Oh, Dave, you're awesome. No one comes to mind, but if anyone does, I certainly will give you a call. I feel good about asking. You feel good about responding. Nothing has happened. And what I do know about referrals, it's an active, you have to actively go get them. There is no correlation from the amount of good work that you do to the amount of referrals people give you, right? So you just can't say, I worked hard this week, so I bet you 10 referrals come in. I'm going to sit back and just wait for this to happen. It shall not happen. So if you wanted to take control, here's what I would do. I go into your contacts, right? And I say, and then I sort them. And I say, well, Chris knows 10 CEOs. And then I have the CEOs. I say, well, who actually would be like my target here? And now, instead of saying, who else besides yourself, Chris, do you know? Now, here's what I do is I say, I send you a quick in-mail, right? Because you'll respond to that a lot faster than Outlook, or I'll call you depending on my style. Yep. But it'll sound something like this. Chris, I noticed that you're connected with Mary Smith. How well do you know her? And would you be comfortable introducing me to Mary, knowing what Sandler does and all the things that we've done together? I've actually included a quick introduction letter for your convenience and for you to edit. Feel free. If you feel comfortable, would you mind sending it along? And it's a little longer than that, but that's the general gist. And 75% of the time, you send the letter as is. I get about a 4% of the time where I don't hear from you. Then I have to question, well, either you're traveling or my relationship with you isn't so great. So that's a good piece of information I got to go get. But when you forward that letter to Mary Smith, hey, Mary, I'm not sure whether, you need Dave's products and services. Let me tell you a little bit about what Dave's done for me, blah, 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 blah. Maybe it's worth a quick call. You've actually sent that letter to Mary and CC'd me. When Mary responds, which she always will to you, she goes, thanks, Chris. I haven't heard of Sandler, but certainly would be willing to invest a couple minutes. When she hits reply, I've got all of her information now, right? I've got her phone numbers on the bottom of her signature. Yep. I've got her email. And now it starts. Now I'm going to call Mary directly. And so we used to have about 10 prospecting tools that we used. That is by far the most popular, most effective for us, because if you have raving fans, psychologically what you're doing is you're picking the people that you want to talk to. I'm not relying on Chris to think about who in my mental database should I be calling on. I've selected those people for you. I don't give you a list of 25 people. I'm going to pick one or two at a time, which is manageable for you. And then I give you an update of where I am in the process with them. So, people like to know what's happening. Now you're educated. And then when I'm done, I thank you for it. And I go back in and ask for another one or two. Now, some people, they do the laundry list of 25, and that can work. But that's how we do it. That's how we teach our clients to do it. And you'd be shocked about how much additional business that they get from their client base. Now, it doesn't just have to be from clients. You know that, Chris. If you and I have a relationship because we're in the same networking group, I could go and look at your connections as well and say, okay, well, who should I be talking to? But I think when you do the heavy lifting for the person you're asking the referral from, it makes it much, much easier.